Fimbul on Nintendo Switch is a broken mess. Please don't buy this game. Fimbul really disappointed me. When I heard we had the code for it, I asked to review it, as the trailer led me to believe I was in for something special. Unfortunately, trailers can make anything look good these days, and I was clearly duped. Hopefully I can prevent you all from making the same mistake and save you some cash while I'm at it. Fimbul is described as a Viking adventure game, and it features a lot of Norse mythology. You play as the protagonist, Kveldulver, who must return to Sigra and protect Ymnirfir, so that Ragnarok cannot be started.
If one of y'all says some silly ass name.
As I say, there's a lot of mythology here that might really interest some, and a lot of it is recognisable if you've played God of War or watched the Thor movies. They'll mention Midgard and Jotunheim, Thor and Odin, but the story is told exclusively through awkward silent cutscenes followed by comic book dialogue, with these jarring pauses in the middle. This is just the first taste of the technical difficulties plaguing the Switch release. Though some of these comic book drawings are nice to look at, others are just plain odd.
Get some help.
And the protagonist often has the same sorrowful look on his face regardless of what he's saying. This, combined with the minimalistic art style of the gameplay sections, may appeal to some, but it wasn't really for me. There were times when the audio and visuals provided attractive landscapes, but this was few and far between. The audio is possibly the high point of the game in terms of the impactful music used, but even this isn't immune to scrutiny. There were a couple of times when the sound cut out for me completely. Okay, right, so the sound has completely stopped, just to show the sound is definitely on. There's no sound effects, no music. Awesome. It doesn't stop there though. The game is riddled with texture pop-ins, low frame rates, technical bugs. I'm in the wall. I'm in the wall. What is going on here? And loading screens in the middle of paths. Funnily enough, I discovered that the picture that flashes up on screen isn't always tied to the game actually loading. I could repeatedly walk over the trigger for the text to pop up after the loading was already complete, but continue getting the pop-up. One of the features that originally drew me to Fimbul was the life string system, which lets you return to previous checkpoints in the campaign and make new decisions. Sounds great, right? I love Detroit Become Human, so a game where the decisions matter and you can go back and change these decisions on the fly should be right up my alley, right?
Wrong.
The only decisions you actually get to make are whether to kill or spare bosses, and these decisions don't make a significant difference to the ending in my opinion. But the combat has to be good, right? Just look at how fun they make it look in the trailer. Yeah, unfortunately the combat is incredibly one-dimensional. See this fight scene? I'm literally just spamming the light attack button and using the left stick to occasionally change target so I don't get hit in the back. If you're expecting fighting mechanics similar to, say, the Batman Arkham series, you'll be sorely disappointed. You have a roll, but it's pretty much useless as it doesn't interrupt any animations, some of which are absurdly long, such as the one for getting up after being hit. This means that if you get hit, you'll often keep getting hit until you die, because the AI is basically a mortal Street Fighter Pro Daigo and will never drop a combo string. Against the bosses and sub-bosses you'll encounter, combat is a little more involved, but unfortunately this isn't really a good thing. Bosses will have certain windows of vulnerability, so hitting them at any other time is basically pointless. So you just have to wait and dodge attacks before getting your window of opportunity, and then just slash wildly. They also have these annoying, unskippable cutscenes that play every time. I timed it and it takes about 60 seconds between dying and getting to control your character again. That's obscene for a boss fight. Who wants to waste a minute every time they die, rewatching the same blurry cutscene only to be one hit and repeat the cycle all over again? Wait, did that kill me? I think I'm dead. I won't know until the end of this PowerPoint presentation though. I don't have time for that, much less do I want to pay $30 for the privilege. Wait, this is a $30 release. Okay, now I'm mad. There is no way a game of this caliber deserves that price tag. For the same price, you could get hundreds of hours out of Dead Cells, you could get Stardew Valley and Hollow Knight. For $20, you could get Wargroove, Celeste, or Final Fantasy IX for crying out loud. When you load up the game, there is a screen showing that Fimbul was partially funded by an EU Creative Europe program, so it's possible they're under some pressure to reach a certain earnings threshold. This certainly isn't the way to do it though. Fimbul will take you maybe 4 hours to complete, and despite the option to replay it and make different choices, there's very little difference to the story when you do so. I don't think many people will get longer than 5 hours out of this, which is a horrible rate of time to money for a $30 game. The only reason a game of this length would be worth that price tag is if it's an astonishingly well-crafted story game like a visual novel, with well-known voice actors and gorgeous graphics. Fimbul has no voice acting, buggy gameplay, terrible performance, and subpar visuals. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't say this game is worth buying at any price. Rather than a price reduction, which it definitely needs by the way, what Fimbul needs is another few months of development to iron out the issues. Hell, it might even need another year. Are those my footprints? I'm kicking up snow as I walk. Inside. Come on. Those bushes weren't there a second ago. That one's a little shy. It's okay, bush, I won't hurt you. Only myself. I just can't fathom why this game is being released in the state that it's at, for the price of $30. At the end of the day, everyone has to make a living, and I don't want to act as if the developers and artists that poured hours of their life into Fimbul have done anything wrong, but the people in charge of deciding when the game releases and how much it should cost have clearly messed up on this one. I'd rather not give it a score, as I sincerely hope there's a patch coming soon with improvements to quality of life, performance and visuals, but I have to review what's in front of me, and Odin's beard is it bad. At the moment, this game is a pitiful 2 out of 10. Only touch it if you would die without your next fix of Norse mythology, and you are swimming in money. In which case, please share the wealth. I have a family of animals to feed. If you like the sound and initial idea of Fimbul, I'd recommend checking out Omen's site. It's cheaper, has a similar minimalistic graphic style, but pulls it off far more successfully, has great fluid combat, and puts more emphasis on the your decisions matter, return and change your mind theme. It's also imperfect, but it will be a better purchase, trust me. With that, I'll pass the conversation over to you guys in the comments. Hopefully the rest of you have avoided this one, but let me know if this was helpful, if you enjoyed the style, or just grab your pitchforks and tell me I'm wrong, whatever you feel like doing. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing if you're new around here, and we'll see you in the next video.